Americans. I am not Jericho Green with you here once again. No, it's me, Marty, going on a road trip. Well, it's a short road trip. I'm driving up to a friend's cabin, a very dear friend of ours. And so this is just an impromptu good morning drive. Got about 2 hours to kill. And so, poof, here I am. Don't know if anyone's going to show up this early, because this is very unusual for me to be out driving around this time of the morning on a Saturday on my day off. But my day off says, come enjoy the day off. Hello. There are some people going to show up. I wasn't expecting it, but, you know, this is what it is. So, we're driving to the cabin a friend of ours owns. Lady Boomer's already up there. This is our traditional first weekend in August that we go to our friend's cabin. We're going to go out to the lake, supposedly play some golf. And guess what? This is what you get. Raining like a mug. But we always make the best of it. This is not the first time we've done this on my wife's birthday weekend where it has rained. There are definitely things that we can still do. But Lady Boomer's already there. This is a kind of a tradition. She and our friend Kay go up there early. They go out to dinner, drink some wine, and then I come up Saturday morning. We go play golf. We go out in the pontoon boat, do a little grilling, throw a couple ribbies on the grill, and it's always a wonderful, relaxing time. Now, the big difference in the last few years is, let me turn this back around, because I know you want to see my face. Oh, that's messed up there. There we go. Hi. The big difference, though, in the last few years is usually our two beautiful children would go up with us, because ever since they were, I think we started doing this when my kids were like maybe 3 years old, 5 years old. And every year we do this, except for last year because of COVID. And, but now that my kids are 24 and 26, well, we don't necessarily get to do that. They have significant others, they do other things. Although, one other break in tradition this year, since my son knew that he and his girlfriend weren't going to be able to go up there, because now they both have significant others. But he said, well, you know what, I'll come up Friday night and go out to dinner with y'all, and I'll spend the night, and maybe I'll play golf. But I don't know if golf's going to happen. Of course, this is 2.5 hours north of our home up in northern Wisconsin, or northwest Wisconsin, I should say. So, I don't know. It's we'll see if it's raining up there or if the rain's going to subside. My son said it's supposed to thunderstorm all day, but like I said, we'll make do. We always go out. We always go out to breakfast when I get up there, because I go up early, try to get up there by 9 o'clock, and have some breakfast, and take a walk with the dog. There, she has her dog up there. Thankfully, I have people watching my house and taking care of my dogs. But anyway, so let's see who's here. Good morning, Mike Savage. Now, by the way, because I am driving, I will not be watching the chat very closely, as you may imagine. So eventually, I'll take a glance, see what's up there, and then I'll act accordingly. But I see that Mike Savage is here. Blarg. Also, good morning, Fox P2. I see in the house. And unfortunately, I have no idea how many people are watching, because my meter from Streamlabs on mobile doesn't really have an accurate count. So, by the way, that was lightning. If you saw the flash, you probably saw me a little better for a second. But I do, of course, have my cup of reparations in hand. Oh, now the Holiday Station stores, which I think they got bought out by Circle K, but they have the best coffee, man. I mean, they have these. Well, I know they got a lot of convenience stores have them now, but they have the grinder right in the right in the machine, so it grinds you a fresh ground cup of coffee. And holy smokes, is this good? So anyway, are there more people here? I can't tell. Okay, I can't tell. All right. So anyway, what is the big topic of the day? So I actually watched an Olympic sport last night for the first time. I watched the third and fourth quarter of the gold medal game of the men's basketball Olympics. Now, I'm sure that it was not live, I'm assuming, because it would be some crazy hour of the day if it were. But then again, I don't know. I don't know if it was live or not. But the United States men were victorious and ended up getting the gold medal, avenging their earlier loss to France. I didn't realize a couple of those players from France who play in the NBA, I didn't realize they were from France. Let's see, Bobert, or I didn't know he was from France. Big dude, real good player. There are a couple others, but it was interesting. Like many of the gold medal games of the last, 4 or 5 Olympics, it's nothing like when the Dream Team played. So I remember back, I think it was '92, in the Olympics when they first allowed actual professionals play in the Olympics, and the team that the United States put together may have been the greatest basketball team ever assembled. I think even though you got the 3-point line and stuff, a lot of people use that now. I truly believe that team would blow away any of the subsequent Olympic teams from the United States. The only player that they didn't have back then that basically was not on the team because of his attitude was Isaiah Thomas. But you think about that team, it had John Stockton, Karl Malone, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Michael Jordan, trying to think of who else, Chris Mullin. They had Christian Laettner too. That's just because they wanted to put a college player on the team just for the hell of it, I guess. But didn't get a lot of time. I'm trying to think. There's a couple I'm missing here. David Robinson too, and it was very cool. So the rain sounds chill, huh? I'm sorry, I didn't even look at that. Killing you in viewers, 53 watching, and drive to Michigan to California. Reg? Who's Reg? I'm not sure who Reg is, but driving from Michigan to California, that's a hell of a drive. Although September 11th, I see. Reg Life from Peaceful Protest. I'm not familiar with that. So, actually, we're going to be doing a drive like that. We're going to be driving from the Twin Cities to Denver in September because my son and his girlfriend are moving to Denver. So, how this happened, I don't know, but Lady Boomer and I got volunteered, or maybe she volunteered, but we're going to drive we're going to drive their truck and both their vehicles, and then he's giving us plane tickets back. So, good morning, Chicago Mike. How you doing? We're just getting here, which you are. I don't even know if anyone else is here. I know Chicago Mike. Mike Savage was here. I'm driving up north to Wisconsin. In Minnesota, when you drive a cabin, anyone's cabin, and it really almost doesn't matter whose cabin it is, we say we're going up north. That's the lingo in Minnesota. Hey, by the way, can you all hear me okay? I want to make sure. I was going to use my external mic, but I think the mic for my truck is working okay. I'm hoping that you can hear me okay. I know it's a lot more noise with the rain, and I know you hear a lot more of the engine noise and stuff, but I think it should be okay. Anyway, so like I said, I have a little over 2-hour drive. I don't know if I'm going to stay streaming the whole time. I did want to get some footage from this. Again, as you can see, it's raining. Volume is pretty fine, just a bit. Just a bit quiet. Well, I can talk a little louder. I can't adjust that. Anyway, Noah Reed, how you doing? Welcome. Name I'm not familiar with, but I am glad you're here. I'm just out here chilling, driving to northern Wisconsin on my Saturday. Going to go up to a friend's cabin, and thought I'd just chat a little bit with y'all. Anyway, let's get back to the men's basketball game. So I watched the USA's men's basketball team versus France, and I was talking earlier about how, I don't think this team clearly would not match up with the Dream Team 1992. I don't think there's ever been a team that could match up with that team. Even the 90, I think it was, what year was it when Kobe Bryant came back? I think he played in the 2000 Olympics. But still, that team was amazing. And but as I watched last night, I was thinking, wow, basketball around the world has really, really caught up since the Dream Team. Now, granted, the United States' best players did not all play. Okay? Some glaring omissions from the team last night. LeBron James, who maybe at his point in his career, he's like, I don't need an Olympic gold medal, or another one, or whatever it is. Chris Paul did not play. You name it, there's a lot of players that didn't play. Okay, let's put this back on me for a minute. That are in your top. Steph Curry did not play. And I got a feeling that if you had all your best players, and I think you could arguably put together a team from the NBA right now that could possibly rival the Dream Team. Unfortunately, not all those players would be from the United States. That's the caveat. But anyway, it's pretty. A lot of people out there were rooting against the United States just because the NBA woke nonsense and Rudy Popovich. It's going to be interesting to see how they act on the gold medal stand if they do any kind of display. Now, I know the women's team decided that this was not the place to do that because they're representing the United States, and they said if they win the gold medal, they are not going to make any statements on the podium, which I respect that. I mean, I wish they wouldn't do it for the season either, but whatever. At least they've decided that they know they know that they are representing the United States and aren't going to do that. What they know last night, it was fascinating, and I was glad to see it. After the game last night, somebody was handing the American players flags, and they were all waving them proudly. So good for them. I hope they don't do anything crazy, and whatever. Now, in other Olympic news, this is what I really want to talk about today, because this is a fascinating situation. So the Canadian women's national soccer team wins Olympic gold. Okay, and good for them. Congratulations to our neighbors to the north, getting the gold medal. And I also, when I was not rooting against our U.S. women's national team, but there is a bit of schadenfreude that they have to sit on the bronze for the medal stand. But I was not rooting against them, even though I cannot stand them using the platform to be political. The Olympics are supposed to be apolitical, and they couldn't help themselves. F that, but I was not rooting against them. However, the Canadian women's team did win the gold medal, and I'm not even sure who they defeated in the gold medal game. But there has been something completely overshadowing their win. Because when you look on Twitter or in the newspapers or whatever, the headline from them winning the gold medal game in the Olympics is first transgender Olympic gold medalist. This is the triumph for the LGBT community. There's more gay representation in the Olympics, blah, 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 blah. Now, so they have a player who goes by Quinn. I don't know her full name. And it's confusing a lot of people, because Quinn is and always has been female. What? What's that you say? I thought she's the first transgender Olympian or gold medalist. Let me bring you up to speed. So Quinn, which I don't know her name, and I'm not misgendering her on purpose for any reason. She is a physiological female, and that's my mental block. Sorry, they them means nothing to me. The rain's making me sleepy. That's funny. Good morning, Zombie Teddy. How you doing? So Quinn was born female. Her sex is female, but they keep saying she's the first transgender gold medalist, right? Well, that's because Quinn identifies, everybody's favorite word, as non-binary. Okay, so now, if you're not familiar with the transgender rules, she's not transitioning or hasn't transitioned to be male. She's not taking hormones to be a male. She's not taking hormones to seem more like a man or to be a man. She, and because I can't not call her she. I don't know why. It's a mental block. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this so that I'm going to connect my microphone so you won't have to hear so much rain. Give me a second here. It's going to take me some finagling here, but I can do it because I am talented. Hopefully this will help a little bit, make the sound a little better. Hang on. I don't know why I'm doing this while I'm driving, but it is what it is. There we go. There we go. Got the microphone set up now. I just got to plug it in. And you can tell me if this is better or not when I do this. Oh, hang on. Well, that's not going to help. Hang on, here we go. Let's plug this bad boy in. Alright, I'm going to have to do this. Hang on a second. I'm going to pull off because I can't do it and I don't want to crash my car in traffic. So we're going to pull off the road and try to set up this a little better for you. I'm going to pull off the road. Just the things I do for my audience. Oh, man. All right, let's try this real quick. Now, let's see if I can figure this shit out. Oh. Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna get, I'm not, all right, let's see if that's a little better for you. All right, hopefully it's not bouncy. And I'm gonna wait for traffic to go by here. Tell me if that sounds a little better. So let's get back to Quinn. So Quinn identifies as non-binary. Now, I gotta tell you, I know I can get in trouble for this, for saying it, but that means absolutely nothing to me, okay? To me, it's attention-seeking behavior. But, sound is better? Rain sound, okay, there you go. All right, good. All right, let's get back to this. So the Olympic national women's soccer team wins the gold medal. And all the headlines are first transgender gold medalist, Quinn. Okay, now, Quinn was born female. She is still female. She will always be female as far as her sex. But new rules. Quinn does not identify as a man. She identifies as non-binary, meaning she says she doesn't have a gender. Which to me, that just means nope, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to get kicked off of YouTube. So anyway, apparently if you identify as non-binary, which means nothing, because remember, gender is supposed to be a social construct, and people who say they are non-binary say they don't feel like they're male or man or woman. They don't feel like they're masculine or feminine. They don't feel like, well, how you feel doesn't matter. Except for maybe in a social context. But because she doesn't identify as male, she's not transitioning, she hasn't transitioned to be a male. She's not transitioning. But because she doesn't identify as a woman, that's considered to be transgender. So you can however you identify, if you're not identifying as your sex that you were born with, notice I didn't say gender that you were assigned, your sex that you were born with, then you can call yourself transgender. And, look, the whole issue that I have with this movement, okay, I don't care if people have some sort of, I hate to call it a delusion, but in my mind it is a delusion, that there's something other than they are physiologically. And I get it. There are some people who have that mental, block or whatever. But it doesn't mean that they aren't what they are physiologically. You know what I'm saying? Hello, Dana Wasteland. How you doing? They're still physiologically what they were born. And so the Quinn is still physiologically a female. She's playing on a team that is designated for physiological females. And so them making a big deal about her being the first transgender Olympic gold medalist is a waste of ink and bytes on the internet, if you ask me. This should not be a big deal because she's self-designating herself. And so what? She's a female playing soccer against and with other females. And it's funny because as I'm watching this on the internet, I've made a few comments on different places, and because some people are confused, it's like, oh, well, she took a spot of a girl who could have been playing in that spot. Well, no, she's not, because she is female. And that's what women's soccer is generally. Of course, now that she's broken the barrier, maybe it'll break barriers for other transgender women. I always have trouble with this. Trans women are women. In this case, she kind of is, even though she says she's not a woman. But she says she's not a man. Is this something that Prince foreshadowed? By the way, I have a donut. And I'm going to eat right in front of you because I'm not going to eat breakfast for another couple hours. But it's just... This is... First of all, I think for the most part, a lot of the movement, and not all, there are people who actually have gender dysphoria, which is, to me, a social psychological phenomenon. I know that they're trying to... It's funny because the movement itself, the activists in this movement have really pushed science kind of out of the way, saying that this is not a mental issue or whatever. But I see so many people use it as just their attention getter. They get this rush out of getting the attention from it, and it's what the problem is. I think it's damaging to a lot of kids who go through a lot of stuff during especially during puberty. You get the hormone changes, you get all these different feelings and stuff, and you're starting to tell kids that there's something, or no, they see. Here's the thing: they see all these people getting all this attention for being able to designate themselves something other than they are, and that it forces people, at least they try to force people to conform to them. It forces people to give you attention, and it forces people... You get power from having a new rules that say they have to abide by your pronouns. They have to recognize you as this or that. You get a lot of attention from this. And the idea that this person, who is a physiological female, steals the headline that the Canadian national soccer team, women's soccer team, just won a gold medal after the United States has been the powerhouse for whatever the last 4 Olympics. It should be a bigger deal that the Canadian national women's soccer team won gold. And yet, who gets the focus? This one player. This one player. And it doesn't help that when they were receiving their gold medal, that player who's already getting the attention gets the most cheers too. What does that tell kids? Oh my gosh, it's so cool being trans, even though she didn't really trans into anything. It's such a strange phenomenon, and it almost makes me sad a little bit, but I don't know. It is what it is. Let's see, how's my chat's there. Oh boy. So if you're getting here late, I am driving in the rain, as you can see, headed up north, as we say in Minnesota. Although I'm going up north to northwest Wisconsin. Me and Lady Boomer are hanging out at a friend's cabin. It's a tradition we have every year right around her birthday, usually the weekend of her birthday. We go up to our friend Kay's cabin, hang out, play some golf, do some barbecuing, go out the pontoon boat. If this continues, this may be a weekend in. Now, we've had rain on this weekend before in the past, and we have made the best of it. Hanging out in the cabin, watching, because we can watch movies. I mean, she has satellite there, so we can watch movies and do other things. But it's nice to get away for a day. Good that we have the kids next door are our professional dog sitters. They love our dogs, so they we give them free reign of our house and pool and stuff. Although I don't think they'll be using the pool today. All right, so yeah, pontoon boat. No, we're not going to invade Omaha Beach. Wait, no, not a platoon boat, a pontoon boat. It has like 2 big tubes to float on, and then it has a deck, and you can walk around and drink wine or drink beer. Hell, you can even bring a little gas barbecue on it. Sit out in the middle of the lake and queue out in the lake, although that's not what we do. We usually just ride around the lake and usually find the loon. One thing, this lake that she's on, like many lakes in this part of the country, have a pair of loons that we usually know about where they're going to be. And then also this lake has there's a bald eagle that nests there every year. And so usually we usually see the bald eagle too. Oh boy. So let's see, what else in the news? Oh, did you hear that Chris Cuomo is going to be taking a little vacation from CNN? Oh, that's a line from The Great Outdoors. Oh yes, find on reruns on like TBS or whatever station. But I've never seen that one on TV. So, So anyway, Chris Cuomo, I just saw this morning, is going on vacation. Now they're saying that he's going on vacation because it's it's his birthday, and he's just going to take a little vacation around his birthday. It has nothing to do with any of the troubles that his brother's having. Now, in the words of Elvis Presley, the immortal words of Elvis Presley, I believe Genghis Khan might have also uttered this phrase. And I know that Leonardo da Vinci uttered this phrase, but it was made most famous by Elvis Presley. Bullshit. So, as you know, Andrew Cuomo has been... also, on that note, Andrew Cuomo has... Apparently there are going to be some criminal charges levied against him. Apparently one of the people that he allegedly sexually harassed, apparently put his hands under her shirt and fondled her breasticles, has filed a criminal complaint against Andrew Cuomo. Now, the reason I laugh about Chris Cuomo and his sudden birthday vacation from This Is CNN is that, CNN's under fire because Chris Cuomo was advising his brother on how to handle his crisis as far as the sexual harassment stuff with the media. And so, hello, Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadians in the house. Congratulations, Canada, the women's national soccer team, winning the gold medal. I don't know if you hear when I was talking about that, but we had a little discussion about Quinn. Anyway, so Chris Cuomo's taking this vacation as they're under fire. Now, a lot of people are still criticizing CNN. They're getting a lot of heat. They're getting a lot of smoke, right? For this fact that Chris Cuomo was advising his brother on how to handle it with the media, and also just the fact that it's weird how CNN just, shied away from the dead grandma story, and then they've kind of, now they've been reporting this one a little more, but certainly not on Chris Cuomo's show. And you know what? I don't know if Chris Cuomo has to talk about his brother, but if the day that your brother is, in the media because the Attorney General from the state of New York says that you did in fact sexually harass a bunch of women and had a hostile environment, and your network that your brother works in likes to kind of shy away from it, or just, maybe have a 5-second blip, and your brother, who has a prime time news show, starts talking about Governor Ron DeSantis and the 19 in Florida, I'm thinking maybe that's a problem. Okay? So I'm now, am I suggesting that Chris Cuomo is leaving because his brother's in trouble and he doesn't want that smoke? Ha! Yes! That's exactly what I'm saying. So, plus his ratings are garbage anyway, as far as that primetime news slot. CNN's ratings across the board really need a shot at Trump to keep them going, and there's not enough Trump for them right now. So, you got to talk about the guy in office, and the guy in office who you helped to put in office by running nothing but negative stories on his opponent, ain't doing so hot. So, if it was FTG Thursday, I might just be saying, FTG, Mr. Cuomo, the both of yous. F Fredo, as I would say. Let's see, what else in the news? By the way, I'm eating a donut. I'm not going to have breakfast for a while. And Jaeger Pony, I don't know what they say in Canada. If you're in Canada and you, let's say you're in Canada and you go up to the, I don't know if you call them cottages or cabins or resorts or whatever, places where you go fishing. The lakes areas in northern Canada. Did you say you're going up north? Or what do you say? Like in Minnesota, whenever we go up to cabins or lakes or whatever that are north of us, that's the phrase. Oh, we're going to go up north. And in fact, I have a lot of friends who will take fishing trips up in Canada, and they'll still say, "I'm going up north," because that's just the phraseology we use. So, is this thing on? I know. Nobody expected me to be streaming right now. Out of curiosity, up north is fine. That's what we say. Anyway, I'm going up north, but this up north is up to northwest Wisconsin. It's a beautiful drive, though. I love driving this stretch of road, especially when you get off on the 2 lanes, going over to near, what's it, Webster, Wisconsin, anyway. Just a beautiful drive through tree-lined roads and seeing the farms and driving across rivers and stuff. It's a beautiful place to drive. Much more interesting than driving across Nebraska, which is I'm about to do in September. Ugh, I dread that drive. I grew up in Omaha, and I didn't do it a whole lot when I was young, like with my parents, but when I was in college, I drove to Denver and whatever to go skiing every once in a while, from Des Moines to Denver. And man, when you're driving across Nebraska, once you get past Lincoln, Nebraska, I wish there was a device that you could just set your cruise control and let the car drive for you, because it's the boringest drive. It's kind of like, well, say if you've ever driven across North Dakota, or South Dakota for that matter, it's kind of the same. You drive for miles and miles and miles, and you see a bump, and you think, oh, maybe my destination's going to be over that bump. And you drive and drive and you drive and drive, and you finally get close to that bump, and you get closer, and you're getting closer, and that bump's there, and you can see over it. And then you get to the top of that bump, and then you see nothing for miles and miles and miles, but there's another bump way, way, way out there. Did that on a bicycle trip once. Oh my God. That was brutal. But anyway, it's called a Tesla Auto Drive. I know, that would be nice. I'm still so wary of that, because you can't take a nap. You still have to watch what the car's doing. But I suppose on a long highway it wouldn't be as bad, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd be comfortable with letting a Tesla drive me around, like in a city or something. Anyway, Nebraska corn, Dollar General, wheat, Texas. Oh yeah, I hear you. By the way, good morning, Duck Dog. I see you there. Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Hey, you know what? Who was it that was talking to me? They just went to Omaha, speaking of Wild Kingdom. So, Omaha, Nebraska, of all places, has one of the best zoos in the country. It is amazing. It's not, the only one that I would say is really better, and it's definitely better, is the San Diego Zoo. But Omaha is a close second rival. And it's partly due to the fact that the Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom is a show that was really huge in the 70s, because, there are only 3 networks, and on Sundays, network programming was, they had to figure out ways to get people to watch TV. And there was a show called Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom with, the host his name was Marlin Perkins. And it was basically just like if you took all the Discovery Channel's shows about wild animals, or places around the world where there's animal habitat, that's what the show was. And Marlon Perkins, or there was a couple guys. There was Jim, I can't remember his name. They travel around and just see animals out in the wild, or on safaris, or whatever, wherever they would go. And that show, I didn't, when I was a kid, I grew up in Omaha, so I didn't necessarily know that the show was a national show. But it was one of the biggest, Sunday rating show that there was, and because people were seeing this, all these animals in their cool habitat. It was a cool show. And that show, which had tons of sponsors, turned Mutual of Omaha into a pretty big insurance company. I mean, a huge, they were a huge insurance company back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. And that Mutual of Omaha also was a major funder of the Omaha Henry Doorly Zoo, and it's that zoo is it's pretty much, it's world famous now. Not like the San Diego Zoo, but because I've been to the San Diego Zoo several times too, and it is definitely bigger and more world renowned than the Omaha Zoo. But the Omaha Zoo is fantastic, because that's one of the things I like to do when we go to other big cities. I like to check out the zoos, and I'm always disappointed, because I grew up going to the Omaha Zoo, which is this phenomenal zoo, and then you go to another town, you think every town has a zoo like this, but they don't. And so the only time that I was super impressed was when we went to San Diego Zoo. So anyway, ever see the videos on that? Some of the amazing maneuvers in avoiding accidents that Teslas do. No, I've never seen that. I've never seen those videos. I know that there are certain things that can mess them up. I'm trying to think. I've seen a video on a Tesla crash, but I do know. I mean, they are pretty amazing. I know they have a lot of sensors, and they have works pretty good. They'll perfect it. I think what the challenge with those is, I don't know how good. Well, I'd have to see the videos on it. I don't know. Anyway, so let's see what else is happening in the world. Oh, I saw a new. Maybe I talked about this yesterday. I saw a report on COVID infections, people who've had COVID, mild cases of COVID. There's a new study from, say, Washington University in St. Louis that says that people who have suffered mild bouts with COVID, like myself, may likely have very long-lasting immunity, and much more long-lasting than the jabs. Now, what's interesting, so yesterday, I tweeted that study out and said, hey, this is good news for people who may have suffered from the 19, the 99+% like myself who survived. I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna sing that song because I'm not a fan of Beyonce. But anyway, ooh, I might get in trouble for that. I might get yeeted for not being a fan of Beyonce. Anyway, so I tweet out that study, saying, hey, this is good news. And I noticed not a single person, and this is unusual because usually when I tweet stuff, I only have 600 Twitter followers, but I tweeted that out and not a single person reacted to it. And pretty much I get someone who reacts to pretty much every tweet I tweet, but nobody reacted to that one. And I thought, I wonder if tweets about that article are being shadow banned. Because it didn't make any sense to me that nobody, not a single person, reacted. No likes, no retweets, nothing. No comments. And I don't think they want you to know that. Because I am amongst the unjabbed so far. And not that I don't think people should be jabbed, but knowing a little bit about how this stuff works, I don't know that it's necessary that I be jabbed, because I've already had it. I'm going to have some natural resistance. I'm trying to use words that aren't going to trigger a bot here from YouTube. Some natural resistance to the 19. I don't think they want you to know that that's possible. And I don't know why. I'm still, as you know, I am very critical of our government spending so much time trying to figure out how they can jab younger and younger people, when young people under the age of 17 represent such a tiny, almost statistically insignificant percentage of people who have suffered from this, as far as especially endings. Hello, Johnny Hellcat. And I don't understand why our government's spending so much time trying to figure out if they can jab more people. Unless, well, of course, I'm sure those companies that make the jabs really think it's important that when the government mandates that you take their juice, that, they certainly get to sell a lot more juice to an entity that's going to pay them no matter what. I don't know if that's a conspiracy theory or not. I don't think so. Funny how, the company says, oh no, we might have to have a booster. Really? According to who? According to who? And it's interesting. So I don't know if any of you have seen this or not. Has anybody seen any study or any data on people being reinfected once they've had it? You ever notice? Now, if there were thousands of people out there getting it again, even the variants, see any data on people who have been infected and survived, the 99.9999 whatever percent of people who survived this terrible deadly disease once they've had it? See any data on them getting it again? See any data on people who had it before now being reinfected with the Della Reese variant? Anyone seeing him get the Della Reese? I haven't, and you know damn well the first person who passes away that officially had it before and got it again, either the Della Reese or the Ypsilon or the Johnny Cochran variant. Every website is going to be on the first story on all the big mainstream media, because oh no, someone died from getting it the second time. Shut it down. Everyone has to, now all you people who've had it before, we must get the jab. We're requiring the jab. Like, get the fuck out of here. Oh, my exit's coming up. Good. Get the F out of here with that nonsense. There, by the way, the Washington University study on people who've had it before and their antibody production and the idea that they probably have some form of very long-lasting, possibly permanent immunity. Oh, this is the wrong exit. This is the wrong one. Got it. Where the hell am I? This is not 70. This is Rush City. Or did they change this? Oh, this is weird. Okay, something's wrong here. Anyway, I haven't heard anybody talking about people getting reinfected. And it just, oh, I know, it's not Rush City, it was Rock Creek. Anyway, I haven't seen it. Have not seen it. Do I have a crack in my windshield? No. Oh, you know what? There's a, are you like right in the middle, up in the top of the view there? Is that what you're talking about? That is a bug that got ended. That's a bug that got ended, and I haven't cleaned off my windshield yet. No, I don't have a crack, thankfully. Oh, I took one exit too early. No, it's not a. It's just a crack. It's not a crack. It's bug remains. Yeah, gone but not forgotten. It seems to be there permanently. Is that a Ford Explorer? No. This is a. It's a 2010 F-150. I drive a truck. Anyway, so back to, I haven't heard any. I have not. I laugh because they would be selling that to the roof if there were a bunch of people who officially had the 19 and were getting reinfections. And I've heard of very few cases of it. And yet, you go on Twitter and you say, well, people who have already had it have immunity. Oh, no, you can't say that. No. You can't say that. It's crazy. Maybe I can get the right exit this time. Hi again, that's my face. Oh, so, yeah, no, this is my third F-150. And the first two I've had were, I bought for, I think I bought one, it was a used one that had like 250,000 miles. I bought it for like $1,200. And I drove that for about 2.5 years until it had about 312,000 miles or something like that. Not 2.5, something like that. It had over 300 when I finally had to retire it. But I also bought a second one because similar, and my son drove that one for a while. But I was one of those guys, Mike, growing up. I was like, I am never going to get a pickup. My wife was like, oh, we should get a pickup. No, I'm never going to drive pickup. And I don't remember why I bought the first F-150 I bought. Like I said, it had like 250,000 miles on it. And I think I bought it just because I got tired of borrowing trucks and stuff. And we were always moving other people's stuff. And it was a double cab, it's 2-seater, whatever. And once I started driving that and realizing how much I used it for hauling stuff, and we were always doing landscape and always moving stuff and always taking stuff to dump, and in my yard now I have tons of trees around my yard, so there's always a lot of yard waste and stuff. And rather than trying to have the garbage people take the yard waste, I could fill my pickup bed with yard waste and take it over. There's a place right near me that does composting, and you can just take it over there and you can dump for like $9. I never want to not have a pickup again. I think I'm going to drive pickups for the rest of my life. I use this thing so much for hauling stuff, and this one, like I said, I have the back seats here, and in these F-150s, the back seat is cavernous. It's like you could almost pitch a tent there and camp in it. It's so big. I know I went down to Des Moines one time for the Drake Relays, and I have all my college buddies. We all meet down there every year, once a year. And a couple of my buddies are tall like me. They're 6'4", one's 6'5", and we're all old, so we're all old and fat. And I have my seat all the way back. I have the passenger seat all the way back, and the 2 6'5" guys were sitting in the back seat, and they had leg room. And they were, it was like there is so much room in these damn things that it's great. So whenever we go somewhere, we go out with some friends or whatever, I always drive because we have room in the truck, and I love this thing. I like I said, some people, they live in the city and they have a pickup truck, and it's basically a grocery getter. No, I use this thing all the time to haul shit. It was like when we were doing our landscaping. It took 4 full pickup beds of mulch. Fortunately, the place is not very far, but I'm hauling mulch back and forth. I'm getting rid of northern Wisconsin. Oh, this is the best part of the drive. Grandma Kay, we call her. And unfortunately, it's raining, but that's all right. Worst things can happen. It's not raining as hard up here. Maybe it'll let up enough so we can still go play golf today. Likes to golf a lot. But Lady Boomer, I wonder if Kay will go. I know I will. I know my son will go golfing in the rain. My son's up there too. Unfortunately, the daughter's not with us today. This week, dinner. I love saying that. Oh, I love saying that. She and her fiance had something else going on this weekend. Oh, they both had to work. That's why. Anyway, farm truck. No. It's not diesel. It's not. I don't have a spare tank. Although this truck, I have a 33-gallon gas tank on this truck. So even if you don't need 1 tank of gas, golf in a thunderstorm or expensive habit, 33-gallon tank. Yeah, fortunately, 1.2 miles from where I work, and then the other job, that I do over the lunch hour, they pay me mileage, so they pay for my gas, and they adjust it based on their reimbursement rates are based on what kind of car you drive, what kind of gas mileage you get, what kind of insurance costs, and then the depreciation on the stream. Buffering a lot this morning. Here's the thing: the driving up here, the cell tower spot coverage is a little bit spotty. So this town is kind of, I'm about to put a new engine in this. Starting to drop frames. Yeah, here's the thing. There's going to be the coverage here is going to be iffy. It goes down to like 3G, sometimes 2G in some spots. So yeah, bye-bye. Have a great weekend.